What up, everybody? Let's talk a little bit about this 2020 Motocross Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Series that's going to be coming up here pretty shortly, even though we're technically missing the first round. I think they're still running every single one of the other rounds. Tree, lag into a tree. Oh, man. So they're running every single round except the first one, if nothing else changes until that time frame, right? Which it always could, especially with, what's going on in these crazy times. It definitely could. So I'm just saying, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, then, we'll have a fairly normal outdoor series here. But yeah, man, if you've not seen some of my other little prediction videos, I'd predicted that Tomac was going to be the 2020 Supercross champion, even though, like the past 3 years, I'd predicted that he wasn't going to win the championship, literally, for the past 3 years, dog. Like, I don't know how I predicted all that, but, totally before each one of those seasons, the past 2 or 3 years, when, pretty much 99.99% of the population was thinking Tomac was going to win the titles, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know, man. I just don't really think Tomac's going to be able to do it. For whatever reason, that's what I predicted the past 3 years, and he's not won it. But in 2020, I sort of changed my tune, and I was like, dude, Tomac's probably going to win the Supercross title in 2020. That's the first time I've ever predicted that Tomac's actually going to win the Supercross title, and he's leading the points halfway through, and then we get all this bullshit. So, yeah, that's kind of how that's going down. But with the outdoor titles, I mean, it's hard to bet against Tomac. He's got 3 in a row. He knows how to get it done. He's more of a outdoor specialist, but he's still really good at Supercross too. I just think it's more of one of those things he can, I don't know, with outdoors he can kind of control it a little more. Like, in a way, I don't know, it's just always came together for Tomac in outdoors, right? I wouldn't necessarily say he's like a, way more of an outdoor dude than a Supercross dude. He's not like Baggett, right? He's still, probably the most wicked one out there on a Supercross track, right? It's just, he just hasn't really been able to put it together in Supercross, but Supercross is so much more meticulous, it's so much more, you got to be so much more little perfectionist type, whereas outdoors it's more just, rip that throttle, rip it right at swerve, wide open, banging into corners, like, sometimes Supercross takes a lot more patience than that. When it comes to raw speed, raw ripping that throttle wide open, ain't none of them on Tomac's level. Ain't none of them. None of them, dog. It ain't even a question. It's not even like maybe this guy is on the same speed level as Tomac. No, dog. It's not even close. It's kind of like back when Stewart was racing, it's kind of similar to that. Nobody was really, you could say Villopoto was more consistent. He was, definitely probably a better, racer in a lot of ways. But as far as raw speed, you weren't touching Stewart when he was staying on that bike. You weren't touching him, dog. It's kind of the same thing with Tomac. Yeah, you could say this person's a little better at racing or whatever, but, dog, he's got the raw speed. So you can't really go too much against him for winning this 2020 Outdoor Series, but what I will say is, with everything going on, it certainly has sort of shifted and changed everything around. Like, had this Supercross season just played out like it was supposed to, and all that, then I definitely would have been like, Tomac, 2020 Outdoor Champ, 100%, not even a question, right? But now, with all this going on, it's making everything a little more interesting, a little different than what it would have normally have been. And what I mean by that is, like, specifically, Tomac's going to have that Supercross title in the back of his mind that's not going to be finished until after the outdoor title now, which is literally like never happened before. This is a one-of-a-kind year, one-of-a-kind incident. So just that alone, typically, once they race the Supercross title and get it totally done, then they go to outdoors, and it's like, all right, we're just going to hold it pinned in outdoors and hope we can win, and then whatever happens, happens. We've got the whole off season before the next Supercross season, but that's not how this year is going to be at all. It's going to be like, okay, you're going to have to somewhat like, let's not completely wad up that KX 450 in outdoors because we still got a Supercross championship to finish that we're leading the points in right after outdoors. And then we got the next 2021 Supercross season right after the end of the 2020 Supercross season. So it's really a very different year in that sense because it's not like they're just, done with the Supercross title and then, all right, let's go to outdoors and just, kind of almost like a reset button in a sense. It's not really a reset button for, any of those dudes that are top 5 in points in Supercross. It's kind of like they still got that Supercross title on the back of their mind the whole time they're riding in this outdoor championship. So then you kind of have to weigh out, like, what's worth it more. I mean, I think you're going to see quite a few of these dudes that are, like, up in the points in 250 Supercross. I think you're going to see quite a few of them just opt out of outdoors this year. Just for the fact of, like, wanting to stay really... If it was ever one of those years to opt out of outdoors, this is one of them, dog. Because you got the end of the 2020 Supercross that still has to be done. And then you're so close... By the time you get all that done at the end of this year, then you're just, boom, right back into 2021 Supercross, the start of that, if all that starts normal time, which I think it will, right? So you're not really going to have like an actual off season. So if you're one of those kind of dudes, it's like, more into Supercross or you're trying to get more, more exposure in Supercross. A lot of them don't even ride outdoors even when it's a normal series just to be more into Supercross, right? You've seen Malcolm Stewart do that a few times. You've seen a few of those dudes do that, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. I mean, obviously Tomac's racing outdoors. He's going for 4 in a row. I don't know. Will Roczen race outdoors? I think he probably will, right? I mean, why not? Like, it's good to keep yourself sharp either way. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see some of the 250 dudes, what they decide to do. But I definitely think this is going to change the way Tomac's riding in outdoors a little bit. I don't think it's going to change a lot. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, my God, now Tomac's going to be, like, super slow in outdoors or anything. It's not like that. I'm just saying... He's got that little nugget somewhere in the back of his mind now of like, dog, I'm sitting here leading this Supercross, my first potential Supercross championship, in the back of my mind, like when he's running 4th gear tapped out on that 450 over a roller section, it's going to be, that thought's probably going to run through his head like, do I really need to push it this hard? Like, I think if it was up to Tomac, he would rather have the first Supercross title than the 4th MX in a row title. I guarantee he would, right? So if it came down to it, I don't know if he would push it to the level of really risking injury to potentially take him out of his Supercross title that he still has to finish at the end of the season. You know what I mean? I just think that's going to play on a lot of them's mind. It's going to play on Roczen. It's going to play on Barcia. It's going to play on a lot of them dudes leading the 250 points in Supercross. It's definitely going to change the way everybody's riding. So, and then, you got AC coming in there on the 450 and outdoors. He just won the outdoor title in 250s last year, dog. He knows how to ride that outdoor shit. So, I mean, you got him coming up too, right? And he obviously proved to be pretty solid in 450 Supercross for the, however many rounds he ran. Like, he is solid already. I mean, real solid. I think even though he didn't win an actual main event yet, I think he definitely opened up some people's eyes like, whew, I wasn't really expecting that much out of Cianciarulo, but he's getting it going. He's getting it hossing up pretty quick. So I think he's going to be one to watch out for in this 2020 Outdoor Series. He's definitely capable of it, dude. I mean, definitely, 100%. So... Either way, you got Roczen, Barcia, Tomac, AC, Baggett, Anderson could kind of, have a little reset. That's going to be the cool thing is some of these dudes that have kind of already gotten out of the points in the Supercross Championship, they are going to be like, they don't really care too much about that Supercross Championship. Let's try to get this outdoor title, right? So them dudes are really going to be on the gas, the ones that are already too far back in the points in the 2020 Supercross Championship. But then you got Tomac, Barcia, Roczen, they still got a Supercross series to finish at the end of the year. And it's probably honestly going to start right after the end of outdoors. I mean, I guarantee you it will. So, then there's that whole, like, they're trying to rest right now and have their off season right now and trying to conserve the energy right now because it's literally going to be, 2.5 seasons back to back to back when you think about it. You're going to have your outdoor series, the last half of your 2020 Supercross series, and then it's going to go right into the 2021 Supercross series, and then it's going to go right into the 2021 outdoor series. You're actually going to have 3.5 series in a row before you have another actual off season. Just imagine that, Doug. Just picture that. That is so insane to even think about that. But, like, this is going to be a real stamina test, a real longevity test. Who can really stand being in that go mode, that race mode for that long? It's going to be crazy, bro. But I think you're going to see a lot of that dudes trying to conserve a little, dudes trying to maybe not push it quite as hard that are still in the Supercross points. So we'll see if Tomac can get it done in outdoors. I think he's still got a really good shot, even with, kind of having that Supercross title lingering in the back of his mind. But it's interesting. I don't know who's really going to, blow up in outdoors this year or whatever, but I think AC's got a good shot. Kind of trying to think in my head some other dudes. What a weird thing for Reed being his final year and then all this going on in Supercross. Wow, that's crazy for him. Don't think we're seeing Reed any in outdoors, but so 250s would be cool in outdoors too, though. You have all those dudes together, Forkner, Sexton, the whole 9 yards on that. So that'll be cool to see. But yeah, man, either way, definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this 2020 outdoor Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. I think Tomac's still got a good shot, but it's going to be interesting, though, just how weird and different of a year and how they've been having to prepare for outdoors in such a weird time, right? Where you literally, like, go to the grocery store and it's like Mad Max 2.0. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a weird mental time for everybody, I feel like. So we'll see how quick everybody can just, boom, get right back to normal. Boom, here's 2020 outdoors. Like, you know what I mean? There's like a whole mental side of it, too, that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out on all the different riders and stuff. But, yeah, man, definitely know what you guys think about the whole thing, and I will take a look at some of those comments. But appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.